That's got us asking today, what are your rights if you're pulled over and you feel threatened? And joining us to discuss this video, and it's really quite sensational at that, attorney Paul Harding from the law firm of Martin, Harding and Mazzotti. And Paul, good to have you with us.
Hi, Liz. Good to be here.
This is a wild case,
Sure is.
and you hope you'd never seen anything like this before, but what about it? What You haven't. Well, that's good news. But what about police here in New York? Could they shoot at a vehicle under circumstances like this?
Yeah, I mean, to take a step away from that video, the rule here in New York is sort of the rule probably in New Mexico that the police can use lethal or deadly force when they themselves feel threatened, their life feels threatened, or the community, someone else could be hurt, gravely so. In this situation, I don't see any of that, and I don't think anybody else does either. So the amount of force used here was really just beyond question, too much, and in New York, this wouldn't happen or shouldn't happen.
Yeah. So clearly there's a question of overreaction here, and we don't really know what was going on, only what we could see there. But what would have been maybe a more appropriate response? Yeah.
You have a situation where the first thing an officer do, and most of these officers do this so well, is they calm the situation down, right? There's no weapon that we see. We got kids in the car, and so it escalates as opposed to it kind of saying, hey, you were speeding, I'm pulling you over, I'm going to give you a ticket, please calm down. He just seemed to be kind of furthering this thing. So clearly you're in a situation where it just kept getting worse.
We don't know too much about why she took off. I mean, again, only what we could see there. But what might she have done? I mean, one would assume that may have been the point at which this thing escalated.
Yeah. Anytime you get pulled over, you put your hands on the wheel so they can see it, because police officers have a little tricky job. They got to go around the corner. They don't know who's in there. Give them your license, registration, cooperate. She obviously was not doing that. She was having a bad day. Her reaction was very poor. But, of course, they knew her car. They knew her license plate. She was going to run out of gas at some point. Let her go. And then, of course, this whole thing with the shots being fired, that just looks like a bad movie. There's absolutely no reason for that.
And just quickly, do you think they could be in trouble for that?
I think the police officers are, in fact, going to face discipline, absolutely. The officers who got there later may not have known what was happening, quite frankly. So, they got there, they saw a window being knocked out, and one guy starts shooting at tires, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, they are going to face disciplinary, at least proceedings,
Yeah, I would think. All right, thank you so much, Paul,
Liz,
for being with us. If you have a question for anyone from Martin, Harding, and Mazzotti, you can email them to whatareyourrights@cbs6albany.com. We'll look forward to talking again next week.